If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk Reviews. UFC 287, Pereira. I know I'm saying it wrong. They're going to get me for butchering it. Pereira versus Adesanya 2. Okay, let me see. One of my co-hosts fell off, but it's all good. So we're going to review this. First of all, let me know if you guys can hear me. You know, I always need a mic check. Go to the comments. Yeah, we're gonna be reviewing the UFC festivities from last night, and we're gonna get a special perspective because Zay happened to actually be at that show, so he's gonna share the live perspective of it. So okay, sounds good. All right. So Zay fell off, but let me bring Bonez on real quick. What's going on, Bonez?
Yo, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. I don't know what happened to your brother. I know he was there. Well, let me address something real quick before we get into the show. Zay, I know you're listening. Go ahead and hop back on. The video that we did yesterday at this time between YouTube and Facebook probably has close to 1,000, if not over 1,000 views. That number is much better than 33 views. Inside joke. So in natural in all, you know, it always happens that I'm gonna get some type of hate from somewhere. YouTube blocked the video. I'm not YouTube, sorry. Facebook blocked the video. So you know how I put the premieres out that, hey, we're going to be talking about this at a certain time. I don't know what happened. I went back and I looked at the wording of everything, but Facebook completely blocked it. So, wow. Yeah. So right now the video from yesterday is up, but they won't allow me to broadcast this one to Facebook. They tell me that my account is locked for 24 hours. So which is crazy because it's like, that video got some really good traction, man. Like we got, like I said, it's well over 1,000 views between YouTube and Facebook, which since I've been coming over here doing my own thing, like those numbers are great. Like those numbers are better than the WrestleMania shows. So yeah. So and now this show that proves to be better. Now you're going to tell me that I can't broadcast it on Facebook. So hopefully I did share the link to Facebook. Hopefully that people will come over here and start watching it. I'd rather them watch it live, but if they watch it in post, it's fine. Right. Let's see. Zay came back on. What's going on, Zay? You're probably trying to get it together, but you're on the stream, Zay. All right, it's raining, and it's also raining really bad over here too. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. Yeah, but Zay, we need you, bro. Everybody looking forward to your commentary today.
Can y'all hear us?
Yeah. Now I can hear you. Did you hear what I said? Yeah, we can hear you. You can hear us?
Yeah, I had got dropped off. My phone froze up.
Oh, yeah, sound like mine. Did you hear what I said earlier?
Good.
Did you hear what I said earlier about Facebook blocking this video?
No, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, well, Facebook, the video that we did yesterday morning.
Oh yeah.
Got over 1,000 views. Yeah, the video we did yesterday got over 1,000 views, and now I do the premiere for this one, and I shoot it over to Facebook, and I got a notification yesterday afternoon that I went against Facebook's guidelines. That would have been one thing had an actual video been there. But there was no video. All it was a thumbnail, and it was the same thumbnail that everybody uses, that everybody has been using for all the UFC review shows. So, we're just gonna do what it do, and just make it do what it do. And hopefully those that watch on Facebook, once they do give me the access to load it back, you guys will catch up on it that way, or come over to YouTube and watch it. But it's crazy, man. It's just like it's always something. It's like always an obstacle that and like that video was popular as shit. Like I say, between the two platforms is well over 1,000 views. And again, I say it sure as hell beats 33 views.
Right.
for the haters that love talking about me. you can't compare these numbers. I'm trying my hardest not to go off on y'all, but I'm trying my hardest not to do it, but I'm not gonna do it. So just y'all, that's what I say to y'all. That's what I say to y'all, because y'all, all I can say is that a certain individual was right when they talked about y'all. I mean, that's all I can say. These dudes, bro. That's why I told y'all, man. That's why I needed to be in my own space, because the whole YouTube thing is a crazy game, man. You could help people out so much, and you could help people build their platforms, and you could give people months and months and months out of your life to where your family is getting mad that you're spending so much time over there. And the minute that you decide to want to do something on your own, is nothing but shit talking from them. Now, all of a sudden, they act like you wasn't rocking with them for however many months. Like that. That's my issue. That's my issue. How I feel about it. We're gonna get to the UFC show. But I gotta get this out, man. Bro, y'all know how I spent all this time trying to big up other people.
You're doing something right.
I try to spend all this time trying to big up other people's platforms. And the minute I say, you know what, I'm gonna do my own thing and build up my platform, the Straight Talk Society. Now all of a sudden is, Trevor's stupid. Trevor doesn't know how to do this, and nobody listens to Trevor. I beg to differ though, because you kind of when you look at YouTube analytics, you want to try to get 10% of your total subscribers. So if somebody has 11,000 subscribers and they only get between 30 and 50 views, and somebody has 1,400 subscribers and they can get 1,000 views, that means that the person with the 1,400 subscribers is probably doing a little bit better. Just so you know that. Mm-hmm. Just so you know that. And I want y'all to realize, y'all two, you mumble mouth and country bumpkin ass fools, y'all have somebody that really rolled with y'all. And the fact that y'all try to talk crap about me, I never professed to be anything but what I am. Ain't nobody trying to save the world on YouTube. I'm trying to be entertaining. That's all it is. Something you two niggas know nothing about is entertainment. I mean, based on your numbers. I mean, we can just look at it that way, based on your numbers, because nobody cares about y'all. And that's the bottom line. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So whatever. I mean, I see I'm with my family now. I build with my family. These people here, I know they're not going to turn on me. I can help them build as well as they help me build. And they're not asking for anything in return. If I was to say, hey, I want to go a different direction, it is what it is. They ain't going to get upset. So y'all could do whatever you want to do. It's all good. It's all good. I give you 9 months of my life and you niggas talk crap about me. Come on, man, get out of here. I see if I started it first and said anything bad about you, I could have talked about that terrible ass debate you did last night. You got your ass murdered. He should have been 179. I could have done that, but I didn't do it. I took the high road. I guess I just did it now. I took the high road. But you niggas, y'all, man, y'all get out of here. You wonder why you wonder why everybody that come in contact with y'all leave. You wonder that. At some point, you have to realize that it's you. It's you. And hey, to the other guy, he's gonna turn on you soon. Don't worry about it. He'll turn on you real soon. Just tell him one day that you want to go do your own thing and see what happens. He gonna turn on you real soon. And act like you don't watch this show. You watch it because I know you're going to bring it up. It's all good. All right. So I'm done with that. Hold on. Let me get some air here.
Some heat on YouTube streets.
Yeah, these people, man, they act like they saving the world and they being great with their ideas. They ain't moving a damn thing. With my Jamaican ass, I've helped more black people in this community than y'all ever have. So I don't even want to hear that. I don't even want to hear that. All y'all do is run y'all damn mouth about ideas. I actually make moves. Y'all, that's what I'm saying, man. These jokers, man, it's crazy, bro. Like when I hear the crap that's being talked about me, I'm like, well, damn, wait a minute. Did I say anything wrong about these dudes? Like I'm riding with these dudes. And even when I want to do my own thing, y'all mad because I took Venkat. I didn't take Venkat. Venkat willfully came over here with me. Venkat was never tied to y'all. I'm the one brought Venkat over there. Venkat rolls with me. Venkat will tell you from day one, he's loyal to me. He don't give a shit about y'all. He ain't got no ties to y'all. I'm the one who's known him since we were kids. That's what you mad at? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. All right. So I'm done now. I'm done. So all right. So Zay, you went to the okay. So let me get Bones out of the way first, because I know Zay gonna try to just overtake this whole thing.
Even the main event last night.
Yeah, man, it's annoying. You know how it go, man. You ride with people, and then all of a sudden, just because you don't, and it ain't like you even said anything bad about them. You just like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna go over here. I'm cool. They can't do one show without bringing you up. Like, I mean, bro, like, and it's not me lying. It's not me making up. Y'all never hear me even say anybody's name on this show because I don't need to make content about anybody else to be entertaining. I'm just entertaining. I don't need to bring anybody else up. I don't need to do that. But these dudes can't go one whole show without mentioning me. They can't. And that just show you their lack of ability to be entertainment. So y'all could call me dumb. Y'all could call me whatever y'all want. But just let everything show y'all still ain't going anywhere. You still ain't getting any production. I just came over here, new channel, bringing in new people because I'm entertaining. I bring fresh content. I bring people that people want to listen to. Y'all niggas just spewing the same old rhetoric and ain't doing a damn thing. Just moving, just talking, just nigga babbling. That's what y'all do. Just nigga babble. That's all y'all do. All right, now let's get to this. Bones, what'd you think about the event last night?
Yeah, I thought it was a real good event.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, what were you saying?
Overall, I thought it was a real good event. Yeah, I thought it was a real good event. It was a few fights that surprised me. We'll go over them in detail when we get to them. And the energy, man, I felt the energy jumping from the TV. It was electric in the building. I knew it was. The main event was amazing. We'll go into detail more about that when we get to it. But yeah, overall, I love the event. It was real good. And apparently they broke MSG's record too.
I think they did 12 million. The gate was 12 million, a little under 12 million.
Yeah.
12 million must be a sweet spot for the UFC.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, because every time we talk about these shows, the gate is always like 12 million.
They said that I was.
Now go ahead, Zay.
They said it was They said it was the most, the highest. They said that was like the sixth. It ranked number 6 of all time UFC shows as far as the numbers that it did. They said it's the 6th biggest show they ever put on.
Now, when you say numbers, you mean pay-per-view
numbers? You saying that he got to come to Miami once a year now.
So you mean pay-per-view number or attendance number?
No, I mean like the gate and the attendance.
Oh, okay.
The gate and the attendance.
Oh, okay, that's cool. You think that? Oh, you think that it was
Dana saying he got to come down here.
You think that it was because of Masvidal?
I think like that was part of it.
Wait, say that again?
That had a lot to do with it. But also the main event. I said that had a lot to do with it, but also in the main event. Go ahead.
Oh, you might want to get out.
I might have to
exit out and come back in. Like lagging. Yeah, you lagging big time.
Yeah.
But hey, to answer the question, I think it was partly because of Masvidal, but also because it's been 20 years since they've been down here in Miami, and Florida is a hotbed for MMA talent. We got so many gyms down here. You got Top Team, you got Sanford, you got here Hard Knocks 365, MMA Masters. You know what I'm saying? So you got like 4 premier gyms down here. You know, so it's just a lot of fighters just in the area alone.
That's what's up. So Dan, I gotta ask you a question, but I want to wait till your brother come back on. So let me do this because we talked about this yesterday, and I found this picture that I wanted to bring up because you guys were talking about it. What's his name? Robert Funt.
Yeah, Rob Funt when he fought Chito Vera.
Yeah, you guys were talking about this picture, so I brought this picture up so we could take a look at it.
Yeah, yeah, he got beat bad for 5 rounds, man. And
Yeah,
to make it even worse, like Cheeto would hit him with like a 4 piece combo, and then he'll taunt, and then he'll hit him again with another 3 or 4 piece. You know what I'm saying? So he was just, yeah, he was tagging him all
That's
night.
Cheeto and Raw Punt.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Cheeto hit him with Sweet Chin music like 3 times in that fight.
So
Literally.
Zay, can you hear me now clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
Okay, so now you're back on. Look at that, and I'm gonna be throwing these barbs, man, because I've been trying to keep quiet a lot of times. Look at this. I got more people watching this show right now than y'all get on an entire stream, and I ain't got to talk no beef to anybody because I'm entertaining. You see
And it's
that?
pure content.
You see that? It's nothing but content over here. You see that? The only time y'all get views is when y'all beefing with somebody. And now all of a sudden you beefing with me who was supposed to be your brother. But I don't need no brothers like y'all. Y'all internet niggas. I don't need brothers like y'all. I don't know y'all in real life. I don't need y'all. Like I said, if I leave off of this thing tomorrow, my life will still be great. I don't need the internet to validate me. That's why I stay in my lane and I do my own thing. Just wanted to point that out, though. Yeah. So, all right. So here's a lovely shot from that Zay sent me. Just to rub it in that he was actually at the show. So, what was there a bad seat in the house?
Actually, it really wasn't. I mean, no, it was that's the furthest away I ever sat at a UFC event, and I had a really good view, especially at the angle that
You're breaking up.
Yeah, it does look like a good view though. You can see
Yeah, I
everything.
know. Yeah, it's like oh, he fell off again. It's like it's like when we go to the wrestling shows. Like when I used to watch wrestling on TV and I'd see the people up in the rafters, I'd be like, damn, we can't get no seat up there because you ain't gonna be able to see anything. But when you actually in there, you realize the arenas, the way they have them configured, it ain't like you at Ford Field or anything like that, where if you sitting far, then you really gonna be messed up and not gonna be able to see anything. But when you look at it, when you're inside the arenas and you're looking at it from this point of view, like there shouldn't be a bad seat in the house. So Zay, what arena what arena is this?
That's the Casilla Center. It used to be formerly known as Miami-Dade Arena. It's the same
So
arena that Heat play in.
So this is where the Miami Heat play. So there used to be the FTX.
Yeah.
So what is it called now?
Casilla. They changed the name like Wednesday. Yeah, Casilla Center.
Yeah, so I guess they just bought the rights out for it because remember for a while it didn't have a name. It was a no-name arena.
Yeah, because the whole FTX scandal thing. So it it got pretty ugly there for a minute. So I want to go through some.
It was. Let me say this real quick about the weekend. It was a whole experience. So Friday night you had the weigh-ins. Prior to the weigh-ins, they had I think on Thursday you had the press conference, and then you had certain fighters at like certain little bars so you can go do a meet and greet where they signing pictures and taking pictures and signing autographs. I think Thursday it was Karolina Kowalkiewicz and Brendan Allen. Friday they had Justin Gaethje, and then Saturday they had Calvin Kattar and Amanda Nunes. But that's different from how they normally do it, because normally they just do a big fan expo at the arena like a few hours before the show. This time they had it kind of like spread out at different times and whatnot.
So look at this lovely picture that's on the screen, and it's funny you got 3 WWE Hall of Famers in one picture.
I ain't even think about that.
Yeah, you got Trump, Kid Rock, and Mike Tyson, all are WWE Hall of Famers. Real quick before we get on to the show, and this is gonna be the last thing I say, I promise, because my wife is telling me I'm starting to get overheated. There's a debate tonight on SVDL, the only debate league on YouTube, regardless of what anybody says. The best two debaters in the league, Rio and Cozy, who I had the honor of losing to on my first debate, and Brother Yanga, who was also smart enough like me to leave them bozos over at the other channel. So that's the last thing I'm gonna say about that, because they probably talk shit about him too. But that's all. That's the last thing I'm gonna say about that, because I don't want to take away from the show from my real friends, my family. All right, so let's get into it, man. All right, I just want to show some pictures that, because Zay was there, and Zay kept sending me all these voice notes. I'm like, bro, stop sending me all these damn notes. It's not like I'm a but then he let me know that it was, it was for him.
Yeah, and you see as the night went on, it's like they came fewer and further in between. Even with taking pictures, it's like, and videos, it's crazy because I be wanting to get stuff on camera, but at the same time, I be wanting to be in the moment as well. You feel me? So a lot of stuff is like I saw, but I didn't record.
So here's a question that I want to ask you, and then we're going to get into the review. Brandon. Oh, jeez, I finally fucking said your name. Sorry about that. Bones. Hey, Bones, so you could tell the truth. You mad at your brother for not bringing you to that show, right?
No, I'm not mad. If I never went to a UFC fight before, then I would be mad. But I've been to a few MMA fights and UFC fights. I'm gonna go to the next one.
It's the other way around. His brother mad at him for not coming with me.
Like that's your big brother, man. I would have been like, man, hold on, man, what the hell, you better, man, why you ain't take me? Like, to hell, leave your woman at home and take me.
Hey man, I tried to get him to come, but he wouldn't budge. He wouldn't budge.
And here's another photo from, so this was before the main event, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
you
before the fight started.
Yeah, you right on that. I mean, like, you right on top of the action, man. Yeah. That's a tremendous view. All right, so let me go ahead and do this. Share my screen, and we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into these results. So let's look at the early prelims real quick, because a lot of things were canceled. Let me know when
one thing. It was the fight was supposed to start at 6, but Buffer came out and announced that a fight had just been canceled, so it started at 6:30. So like it was supposed to be 2 more fights, but I guess 2 fights dropped off, so it was a little bit. I was disappointed, but the show still lived up to expectations, exceeded expectations actually.
So you guys can see the screen. You probably can't see it big right now, but good enough. I just need it for reading purposes. So in the early prelims, Ignacio, that was canceled. So did anything stand out?
No. Ignacio Bahamondes, his opponent pulled out, Nicholas Malta, but he ended up fighting somebody else, Trey Ogden.
Okay, because they have it as canceled.
But if you scroll up, they might have the fight that actually happened.
Oh, yeah, right there. Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, so Ignacio versus Trey Ogden, and that went to decision where Ignacio won, 3-round decision. Anything on that?
Basically. No, Go ahead.
Oh, this is what we're gonna do too. This is what we're gonna do, because we realize, everybody, we realize in the show, I go back and I listen to all these. Zay, you're the older brother, so you more overpowering and quicker to try to respond. So when we do these, I want to give Bones a chance to go first, because his stuff is never really as long as yours. So I don't want you to like jump on top of him.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Ignacio, I just feel like he was more well-rounded. He flowed better with the fight. He controlled the pace more, and he just dominated the fight, I would say. And he looked pretty good. I would say that he's somebody to watch out for. I want to see his next fight. He did nothing that to actually stand out, but he was very well rounded and not like his composure and everything.
To me, being in the
Go ahead,
building,
bro.
what stood out to me about that fight was Ignacio Bahamondes switched stances very, very fluidly. Um, he threw a lot of volume, but that fight was one-way traffic throughout the whole fight. Trey Ogden taking the fight on short notice. I don't know if he didn't come fully prepared, if he was trying not to gas out or what, but he threw very little strikes. It was like he was trying to counter the whole time, but Bahamondes was faster than him, so that took away the counter ability. And yeah, that was honestly the most underwhelming fight on the whole card. But no fault to Bahamondes, because I mean he take two to tango.
All right, so let's move on from there then. So you got a woman strawweight, Jacqueline, what's that? Armorin versus Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes won via decision in round 3.
This fight, I ain't really got too much to say about it. Sam Hughes, he's basically dominated for 3 rounds, and I already got too much to say about it.
No sir, no sir. Sam Hughes did not dominate for 3 rounds. She almost got choked out 3 times in the first round, and came back and dominated the last 2. And the toughness that she showed to get out of those, she was in 3 rear naked chokes, like locked in deep, and she found a way to get out. And the chick she was fighting, Jacqueline, that was her UFC debut. She was 6-0, but she went home with a 1 on the end of that record last night because she got kind of desperate. It's like she's, I guess, a jiu-jitsu specialist. So she almost got the finish in the first round. I don't know if she burned her arms out going for those chokes, but the second and third round, she just looked desperate for takedowns, and she couldn't get them. It was key. Me and the missus was literally able to like read whenever she was gonna try to go for a takedown, because Sam Hughes would back her up towards the cage, and as soon as her back foot touched the cage, she was gonna shoot. So it got predictable, and all her shots got stuffed, and she just got tired and gassed out.
And hold on, you were able to take all these mental notes while you were actually there?
Yeah, like I watch, like the way, I don't know. I be looking for this little stuff. Like that's what makes the sport so fun to me. The little just like the small things, the details. You get what I'm saying? Like mixed martial, like it's truly an art.
That's awesome, man, because you saw my WrestleMania notes from last week. I took 10 pages of notes, and I had to do a lot of stopping and rewinding. But the fact that you were there live in the atmosphere and you still able to talk about who changed up their stance and stuff like that, that's crazy as hell, man. It might be a spot for you in this business.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
All right, so the next fight ended in a KO TKO in round 2, 36 seconds in. We have Xiao Yan falling to Steve Garcia. I know you got something to say about that. It was a knockout.
Yeah, Steve Garcia, he threw a nasty body shot that collapsed buddy. And that was basically it. That was a very, very nice. I think it was a left hook to the body, I believe it was. And he just kind of folded up like, as soon as he got hit, and that was basically it. And I think he gave him like a few more ground and pound strikes. But I was pretty impressed with him because I didn't know much about him coming into the fight.
Yeah, that was the fight that I was saying yesterday that I only see Steve Garcia getting knocked out. In the first round, he got dropped with like a cross. He threw a kick, but he caught the kick and punched him dead in his mouth, and he fell down. He got dropped again with a head kick, but then towards the end of the first round, he dropped his opponent with I think like a 1-2 left hook, and then in the second round, he came out and like Bone said, he got him backed up against the cage, kicked him in the liver, and then hit him with a left hook to the liver, like right behind it, and it just folded him. He was in the fetal position, and then he came in.
He dropped.
No,
He
go
did
ahead,
what?
Bones.
I was gonna say he dropped so quick from the body shot that he was gonna throw another hook, and the hook couldn't even catch him because he fell like so instantaneously from the body shot.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. It was pretty nasty.
All right, so we now go to the prelim card, and so you got Carl Williams and Chase Sherman canceled. Michael Saisha versus Li Jiang
Michael
canceled.
Chiesa
Michael
versus Lee.
Chiesa.
Yeah, that was canceled. Yeah.
Chris Barnett versus Chase Sherman canceled.
Cause see, the way it was originally, Chris Barnett was Chase Sherman's original opponent. Chris Barnett pulled out, and then they got Michael. I can't think of his name. The dude that he was supposed to fight, and that got canceled that night because Chase Sherman got sick in the back.
Yeah, see, apparently he ate some bad stuff or something. He got sick,
Yeah,
food poisoning,
can't go down on
right before the
everybody.
fight too. Yeah.
Man. All right, so in our first bout in the women's first bout in the prelims, we have a women's strawweight match that went the distance. You have Cynthia Calvillo falling to Lapisha Godinez. Anything on that?
Yeah,
Who?
Cynthia Calvillo, I believe I picked her to win the fight. Um, she needed this fight because she came in as a very hot prospect, and I believe she came into the UFC 2-0 or 3-0, and then she dropped a few of her fights. But overall, this was a very competitive fight. It wasn't like she won easy. It was like if she wouldn't have got a decision, I wouldn't have said that it was a robbery. But I think she kind of flowed a little bit better her combinations, even though the Dinez, when she hit her, she was more powerful. But I feel like Galvillo just had a better kind of flow to her. And there was one point in the second round where Cynthia hit her 9 times, and she hit her like nine times before she got hit once. So she hit her
Damn.
with nine unanswered strikes. Yeah. So she was just kind of flowing better, and she took the decision. But I was happy for her because she needed that win real bad.
No, Calvillo didn't get a decision.
Yeah, Godinez won that match.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
But
thought, but
you hit the nail on the head when you said because that's exactly how I saw it. It's like Calvillo was landing more, she threw more volume, but Godinez had more power on her punches, so it's like it kind of evened out that way. They both it was a hell of a war. They put on a good fight. Everybody was entertained and out of their seats for that one. Yeah, man, it's like at the end of that fight, I didn't know who the judges were going to give it to. I kind of felt like Calvillo lost, but like you said, I could have saw it going either way. Based off of the volume, like she probably outlanded her, but she just got cracked way harder. You can tell, like I feel like Godinez didn't respect Calvillo's power because she would get hit and keep coming forward, but when she hit Calvillo got knocked back every time.
All right, so in our next bout, we have a middleweight. We have a middleweight bout. Gerald Mearshart versus Joe Pfeiffer. And that wow, that was a KO TKO in the first round, 3 minutes and 15 seconds in, with it going to Pfeiffer.
I completely misread this fight and misdiagnosed this fight. I thought that GM3 was going to get the submission, and I even predicted him to get the submission at a night bonus because usually he the kind of fighter either he get finished or he finish fights, but a lot of times he'll get hit once, he'll get dropped and come back and then pull like a rabbit out of his ass basically and submit somebody. But he got hit once and it didn't look like it was even a clean shot. And when he got hit, he just fell and he didn't try to defend at all. Like, I was very disappointed. It's like he just won it out basically. I felt like he was mentally defeated. Um, I was disappointed in him with this one. But Joe Piper, shout out to him. I think this was his second UFC fight. He 2-0 in the UFC. from Philly, and I think he's gonna be a pretty good prospect to watch out for. So I'm gonna definitely look out for him.
Yeah, they finna put a lot of money behind that hype train. I feel like, but I thought Joe Mearshart also was gonna get the victory just because I felt like Piper had to prove it, and he did. And it was a pretty competitive fight up until that one punch, and it's like I didn't realize he had so much power. Like the shot that it didn't look like it landed clean, but you heard it throughout the arena, and he hit him so hard that when he fell down, it's like he didn't even. You could tell he was like, "Nah, I don't want no more of that." He kind of like balled up, like he didn't really try to defend,
Yeah.
like Bonez said. He just and the referee gave him. I feel like he didn't want to get hit again, and then he got hit a couple more times, and he saw the referee didn't stop it, and then he felt like, "Oh, maybe I can get up." And then when he tried to get up, he just got pounded out some more, and then that was it.
So
shout out to Joe Piper.
let me ask you: do you guys do you guys think that we watch it in boxing a lot of times, and God, what the guy's name? Roberto Duran, and he comes to mind when he fought. I want to say it was either Hitman Hearns or Marvelous Marvin Hagler or Sugar Ray Leonard, one of those three. They beat the brakes off of him to where he just didn't want to come out of the corner anymore, and he just basically verbally gave up. Yeah, the no mas. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, that was Sugar Ray Leonard.
It was Sugar Ray Leonard, okay, because he was beating the brakes off of him. He just was like, you know, what the hell with this shit? Does that happen in the UFC?
Yeah, it does.
I've seen the last two Derek Brunson fights. The last two times Derek Brunson fought, his corner threw in the towel. I more so see corners throwing in the towel more so than like fighters quitting themselves.
I saw it twice that I can remember. Once was a title fight against Amanda Nunes. It was Raquel Pennington. She went back to her corner in the fourth round and said, "I want to be done," and they sent their ass out there anyway, and she got knocked out. And then another time was this guy, he quit on the stool. He didn't want to come back out, and the UFC cut him.
Do you blame her for not wanting to fight Amanda Nunes? Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I've said it plenty of times. Like, I'd pretty much fight any dude, but it's just something about Amanda Nunes, man. It's just like scary as I don't know, bro. I don't know. But Venkat posted a good question to us. Do you think the UFC should have its own annual super event like WrestleMania, the Super Bowl, World Series, etc.? God, they charge $300 for it.
They do have their own annual event like that, but they just don't promote it as well as WrestleMania. It's called International Fight Week. It's usually in July, and I think this year is going to be John Jones and Stipe fighting. Last year, I think it was Cannonier and Adesanya.
But is that so? WrestleMania normally, at least this year's WrestleMania, normally gives you like bangers. Do they have it set up that way where they like they try to give you like the best? Okay, so you say we're probably going to get Stipe and John Jones. Would they put a Conor McGregor on that card also?
Nah, they would never put Conor and John Jones on the same card ever. I would never see that happening.
And that's just strictly because of money.
Yeah, that's their two biggest cash cows, so they will want to separate it.
Okay, I get it.
but yeah, he's talking about International Fight Week. Usually it's like a whole week of fan experiences, meet and greets, and little games and get-togethers and Q&As and stuff like that. Kind of like Radio Row for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's something kind of like that. And then usually on that weekend, it's always early July. They have like a real stacked card. Like as of right now, they already talking about 2 championship fights: John Jones and Stipe, and Yair Rodriguez versus Alexander Volkanovski.
And when is that?
July
something.
Okay, so the playoffs on SVDL should be over by then. I'll be there then. Yeah, I'll be there for that fight.
Straight up.
Yeah, so save my spot. I'll be there for that one. Yeah, because I can't believe I missed a John Jones his friggin' return So yeah, I'm not missing anymore, but I'll definitely be there for that one. Yeah, but I get what you're saying, Brent, Bones. When you said it, I was like, oh crap, yeah, because if Connor could sell 1 million pay-per-views and Jones could sell 1 million, I think if you put them on the same card, it'll probably cap at about 1.5, 1.7. So it's better to just put them on their own separate shows and capitalize on that 1 million plus buys. So yeah, that makes all the
Usually
sense
what
in the
they do,
world.
they take one of their champions who isn't as marketable, and you give them the co-main event of a John Jones fight or a co-main event of a Conor McGregor fight, so you can get more eyes on that said champion.
So a Tyrone Woodley then.
Yeah, he would have been somebody that would be like a co-main event for a John Jones fight or a McGregor fight when he had the belt.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the appeal like as far as buy rates and things like that.
Which was always crazy to me.
Yeah, you're right.
It was always crazy to me.
So in our next bout, we have a woman's straw weight. Michelle Watterson. I see they dropped the Gomez. That was quick. She lost a decision to Luriano Pentiero. That went all 3 rounds. So you got the Karate Hottie versus losing to Pentiero.
I didn't get a chance to really watch this fight because I was driving to my boy house to watch the fights over there, so I didn't really get a chance to see this fight.
Well, it was also a pretty good fight. The females on this card definitely delivered. Michelle Watterson came out and kicked Luana in the face and dropped her in the first round, and then I feel like that lit a fire under Pinero, and she came back and caught her with a couple of flurries. There was back and forth action nonstop. The one thing that I noticed in this fight was Pinero was so much longer than Watterson. And so I feel like Watterson was kind of left one dimensional. She couldn't really close the gap with her strikes, like as far as punches. So she was using a lot of kicks. Like her offense was primarily kicks. She caught her with a spinning elbow in there too. But every time Watterson tried to take her down, she got right back up. And then this chick tried to get like 2 takedowns. She couldn't get them, so they mostly stood on the feet and traded back and forth, back and forth. Leg kicks were a big factor in this fight, and I feel like Watterson got a little predictable because sometimes she would get in that karate stance, like as opposed to being more square. And whenever she did, it's like, okay, so I only got to worry about that lead leg as far as the kicks. And so I feel like that played a major factor in the fight. But that was another fight where at the end of it, I didn't know who they were going to give it to because I feel like you can't really tell who won round 1. Round 2 was won by Watterson, and round 3 was won by Pinero. So it was a real good competitive fight.
And again, I can't stress this enough to you guys. Like the breakdown that you guys are getting for this show, like Bones does his thing. They both do their things. But what I really want you to understand is Zay was actually at the fight. And the fact that, listen, I'm a Dolphins fan. I can't go to a Dolphin game and be watching it emotionally and still give you the type of breakdown that we're getting here. Like that's crazy. This dude was actually at the fight. And he's giving you like play by play, like as if he was watching it on a monitor. Like I'm telling you, these two brothers are great. I would if they were to come to me and say, hey, we want to do our own show on the Straight Talk Society, just talking about something. There you go. Knock yourself out. I ain't even got to be involved. Do whatever you want to do.
Appreciate that.
Do whatever you want to do. And I bet nothing. So let me ask you another question, because by this time you're what, like 8 or 9 fights in. Have you gotten up yet to go piss or get something to drink or do anything?
That was a Michelle Watterson fight. All right, so when I got there, I went straight to the bar. Before I even before we took our seats, we went to the bar. And then Let me see. And let me just say this too, by the way. We got there, the doors didn't open until 5 o'clock, right? We got there like at almost 3 o'clock. And
Oh,
yeah, we got there at almost 3 o'clock because we wanted to get good parking and whatnot. And the buzz outside of the arena at 3 o'clock was insane. It was insane. Like, good thing we did go early because everybody was hanging out around the arena taking pictures and just waiting to get in. It's insane. Like, it blows my mind because, all right, in my circle, it's not that many UFC fans. You get what I'm saying? Especially hardcores like me. So I don't know where these people be coming from, but I met people from all over actually. So I mean, they come from all over. I met people from Virginia, people from Detroit, people from New York. It was people came from all over and they were there early. So yeah, I went in, went straight to the bar. Then we went and took our seats, and I say by the time the Michelle Waterson fight came up, I was probably like two or three drinks in. So you have time in between fights to go and grab something and come back. And then especially when like the main card, when the early prelims in and they finna start the regular prelims, you get like a little break in between.
so see, and I ask these type of questions because I'm always interested in the logistics of things. Again, where we live in Florida, so we go to that arena pretty frequently. But for what's really stupid for Miami Heat games, you can't park in the arena. But when I go for wrestling events, they allow you to park in the arena. Were you guys able to park in the arena, or you had to park on the outskirts?
You had to park on the outskirts.
So they weren't doing any arena parking?
Not that I know of.
Man,
we paid $50 for parking right across the street.
It's bullshit. I mean, yeah. When we went to the Dolphin game the other day, it was we had to pay. Well, we had a parking pass, but the parking pass was a $40 parking pass to park a mile away from the stadium. So, wow. So we had to park a mile away from the stadium and then walk over. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I don't know how it is in other states, but man, in Florida, when it comes to events, and Florida is a big event. Florida is a big event town, so they're gonna pay the money regardless. But it's like they take advantage of people, like really.
Yep.
All right, so let's get to the last fight. The last fight on the preliminary card. It was a middleweight bout that went to decision. You have Chris Curtis falling to Kevin Gastelum. And hold on, I wanna hold on before you say anything. I wanna let me do this real quick. I hope this is the right picture.
Yeah,
that's from this fight, right? All right.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So,
this fight right here was one of those fights where I kept thinking about my brother because I'm like, Dad, I know he's going fucking nuts right now in the arena because the crowd was going insane for this fight. I'm pretty sure this won fight of the night, right, bro?
Yeah, it did.
All right, but I picked Chris Curtis to win because Kelvin Gastelum, he was like on the little skid, and I don't think he fought in a year and a half. And the last time he was scheduled to fight, he pulled out with an injury. He really needed this fight because he fought Israel for the belt a few years ago, and ever since then, he ain't been the same since. Chris Curtis, besides his last 2 fights ago losing against Jacker Manson, he been on a tear in the UFC. His last fight, he knocked out Joaquin Buckley, which is very impressive. So they basically just met in the center of the octagon, and they were just banking. I don't remember no takedowns really being attempted besides, like one person to get dropped and they'll start, pounding on the other person. But they Kelvin Gastelum, he looked like the old Kelvin Gastelum. No, even though I'm not his biggest fan and I wanted Curtis to win, I was so happy to see him return back to form, just out of respect, yeah, I was real happy for Kevin to win that fight. He looked like the old Kevin Gastelum, man. He was sticking and moving with his jabs and everything. He had his timing was good, and I thought he was real real impressive.
He looked like
I think this is his.
he looked like he wearing one right here though.
Yeah, it was back and forth. It wasn't he didn't dominate the fight. It was back and forth, but still, like I feel like Kevin Gastelum of like 2 fights ago would have lost that fight. You know, I think this was his first fight since he moved to a new gym too, because he had one scheduled before, but he pulled out of that fight. So this is his first actual fight at the new gym.
Yeah, with Cejudo now.
Yeah,
Yeah, you pretty much hit everything on the head. I feel like Gastelum just resurrected his career. Um, that fight right there was insane. Nobody in their seats the whole time, and that's the third fight where it's like by the time it ended, I wasn't sure who was going to win because it could have went either way. Um, as soon as the bell rung for the fight to start, Gastelum came out quick and just started putting pressure and he started throwing strikes. Chris Curtis is extremely defensively responsible, so he's very good with rolling with shots and slipping, bobbing, and weaving and throwing counter shots. Kelvin Gastelum had really fast hands, and when I say like every 10 minutes, it was like ooh, ooh. Every ten
yeah,
seconds, I should say ooh, ooh, oh man, that was so electric. That fight right there. Um, they just stood toe to toe and went at it. They both dropped each other a couple of times. By the third round, middle third round, you could tell they were both gassed out. But at the same time, it's like it was one of those fights where every time they came out of the corner before the next round was going to start, the crowd just started cheering, and it's like that built over 3 rounds. And so at the end of the second, or the beginning of the third, it's like they got a standing ovation before the third round even started. So I thought that was pretty cool. Kelvin Gastelum definitely earned that. Chris Curtis was upset, but that was one of those. Like I said, could have went either way. I thought they were both going to get finished at times in that fight. So definitely deserved fight of the night. When it was happening, everybody understood. Okay, this is probably going to be fight of the night. Like, how they going to top this? And there were some moments that topped it, but not like as a whole fight.
I was very impressed with the way Kelvin was able to find his target and hit Chris Curtis because we keep saying Chris Curtis out of like all the UFC fighters, he's one of the best at rolling with the punches. Whereas you may hit him, but you
Absolutely.
ain't gonna get a clean shot on him. You may graze
Right.
him, but you ain't gonna hit him clean. You know what I mean? And Kelvin was
Right.
finding that button, man. Now I was impressed because I didn't think he was gonna be able to really hit him like that. I thought
No,
Chris
me
Curtis would
either.
be able to stick and move and all that kind of stuff. But
And
yeah, man.
I thought it was just going to be a decision because Kelvin Gastelum seems unfinishable, but I did think he was going to
Yeah,
lose.
yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
so
Well,
where do you
oh,
where do, wait, where do you think Kelvin should go from here, bro?
I don't know, man. Probably give him somebody in the top 10, but I mean, you can't really. He fought it. I think he should pick a weight class and stick with it. And if he's going to stay in middleweight, I don't really know where you go from there. I feel like all the middleweights right now are pretty pissed off about the result of that main event because that means that they
Yeah,
just saw the
I would be
opportunity
too.
fly out the window.
yeah,
Yeah,
I got some words for that. Don't jump the gun on that one. I got some words for that main event.
I would like to see Kelvin fight Andre Muniz because he ranked number 13 and Kelvin was number 15 last night. So I think that'd be a good fight. And Andre coming off a loss too.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. That's actually perfect.
Yeah,
And weren't this? Isn't that the fight that Kelvin pulled out of? And that who he was supposed to fight?
no, not Nasruddin Imanov, I believe.
Yeah, there you go. In involved.
All right. So in our next fight, y'all see the screen. We got Raul Rosas Jr. He went to he lost a decision to Christian Rodriguez. Wait a minute.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Wait a minute.
Yes, that's
Is
all Jordans.
wait a minute. Is that who that is?
No,
Nah,
it's
that's
Aljamain
Aljamain
Sterling.
Sterling. That's the
Yeah, who is?
135 champ.
Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe they're saying that he was next. Okay, because I got these photos right off of the UFC 287. Yeah, let me take that off because
No,
I'm looking I'm looking at the fight card and I'm like, well, wait a minute, these two guys look Spanish.
the reason why they probably got him there is because Raul Rosas Jr. was already saying that he believes he can be the champ, and the champ was telling him, slow your roll, man. Like, you got one UFC fight, and so now I guess they want to link them together because of that, because he lost last night. But what you thought about that fight, Bones?
I mean, honestly, Raul, I feel like this fight is in the end of the day, this fight is gonna help him out because I feel like he's gonna learn from his mistakes and his inexperience. But I feel like he went for that rear naked choke a little bit too much. There was a point, I believe it was in the first round, I'm almost positive, where he had Christian Rodriguez. He was up against the cage and he had Christian Rodriguez up against the cage and he went for the rear naked choke, and it was like a real tight neck crank. And at that moment, I was telling my homeboy like he should just give it up because he's gonna use up all his energy right here. You feel me? And it's basically what he did. Like I think he put all his eggs in that one basket, trying to get that submission, because he even like took his arm apart and tried to readjust and tried to get it again, and he just couldn't get it because he was trying to get on the way Latsa Grasso submitted Shevchenko because he wasn't literally up under the chin. He had his forearm
Right.
on his chin, which is a neck crank, and that's basically a toughness choke. Like either you finna be tough and tap, or you finna just out tough and survive or whatever. But Christian Rodriguez survived it, and I feel like after that, or what was kind of like, oh shit, like now what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? And then it came to a point where he would even like start shooting a lot for the takedowns, and Christian Rodriguez was timing it, and he was able to sprawl or whatever. So overall, I feel like he'll be all right. He only 18, so I can't, I ain't gonna shit on the kid, but I feel like he just got to go back to the drawing board and just kind of work on his game a little bit more. And like if you don't get the rear naked choke, find something else, or if you don't get the takedown, try to mix up your strikes a little bit, and shoot for the takedown that way. But that's basically it.
So this is the high
And you
school
said,
kid.
Yeah.
yeah. And you said a couple things that I want to elaborate on. First off, everybody was saying Raul Rosas was going to win this fight. I actually picked against him just because I felt like like I said yesterday. You got to prove it to me. I gotta see. Like, I don't know. I wasn't buying the hype, and like you said, he came out in the first round, immediately went for the takedown. He got it. Um, he started going for the choke, fishing for the choke. He couldn't get it. I will say Christian Rodriguez had extremely good submission defense, and he was real good on defensive grappling. As far as there was a time or two he was in the body triangle on his back, and then he kind of like reversed it and swept and ended up on top. Um, After that first round, like you said, he was one dimensional. He needed to learn something else. Like, and he kept going for the choke. I'm not even gonna say he kept like it's just the choke. It's the fact that all he wanted to do was grapple, which shows that he needs more tools in his belt. Because if that's not working, he couldn't go to the striking. And every time that he would get a takedown stuffed or he would get reversed and he got back up, it's like he did not want to throw no strikes. He just tried to go straight back for another takedown. Now, granted, we don't know what's going on with these guys. A lot of these guys come in with injuries and just don't say nothing. But to me, on the outside looking in, it just looked like he's a one-dimensional fighter. And if you're not going to succumb to his grappling game, then you pretty much got him beat. So I feel like he's like you say, he's still young. He still got time to grow. He only 18 and second UFC fight. Just slow down on the hype, and I feel like he just needed to really, really, really work on his striking.
So hold on. So two things here. This is the kid that you said at the weigh-ins that was like the most popular person in the building, right?
Yeah, he got a huge pop when he came out too. And then Christian Rodriguez missed weight by 2 pounds.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
So secondly, you talk about him being one dimensional as far as grappling. Would you say like a Dan Henderson was a great striker?
I wouldn't say he was a great striker, but he had that H-bomb.
Would you say that?
He was a great striker. He was a defensive wrestler.
Would you
I
say
feel like.
that?
He had a lot of knockouts though, so I would say he was a pretty decent striker.
Would you say that like a BJ Penn was a great striker?
I feel like BJ Penn was well rounded.
So what I'm getting at, I mean, this kid's 18 years old.
Right.
But the wrestler, the rest. I mean, be it far from me, but I'm saying like I'm not. I would rather watch a fight where they're standing up striking. I'm not a big fan of wrestling in MMA, but I mean it's a part of the game. Right. But I think the wrestling. He could carve out a good enough career for himself in wrestling. I mean, because Brock Lesnar isn't a great striker because we see once he gets hit, I mean, he folds up like a cheap suit. But this is me talking, but there's a lot to be said for like a guy that could really control you on the mat, you know, and take you down constantly and do all that stuff.
Yeah, but
absolutely,
I think the difference is with him. With him, he's more of a submission specialist than a wrestler. You know what I mean? Like he's not just selling that takedowns and holding you down. He's just selling that once he gets you in the rear naked choke, he's going to submit you. You know what I mean? Like that's more so his game.
But
okay, that's what you're saying.
If you ask any fighter, they'll tell you wrestling is the best base to have, and you build from there. I mean, and there's plenty of fighters that look at Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's strictly a wrestler, but those guys have wrestling that's so threatening that it lowers their opponent's striking output because you're worried about
worried about the wrestling
takedown. Yeah, so it's like you don't want to like throw anything and get caught in the shot and taken down. So it kind of stifles your offense a little bit. Prime example, Kobe Covington versus Robbie Lawler.
Hey, I also want to give another example too. There is no way on this earth that Khabib is a better striker than Conor McGregor. But because Khabib wrestling is so superior, that's why he was able to catch Conor with a jab and stagger him. You know what I mean? If it was a kickboxing fight, he wouldn't have been able to stagger Conor with a jab, whatever. But because his wrestling, Conor was so worried about that wrestling, that's why Khabib was able to get that one good shot in on him.
Okay, so let me ask you a question here then. So, do you think? What do you think will always win? A phenomenal wrestler with subpar striking, or a phenomenal striker with subpar wrestling?
That's a good
Probably
question.
The phenomenal. It varies, but if I had to choose, I'd probably say the phenomenal wrestler with subpar striking because that can survive longer. That's more long term. If you're a striker who got subpar wrestling and you're constantly getting knocked out or something, or you're constantly in stand-up wars, that's going to take years away from your career. Whereas if you're a wrestler and you spend more of your fight time in clinch or ground control, you know you're going to last longer.
Yeah, look at Daniel Cormier. He wasn't always a striker, and I don't even think he still was a striker. He just was a great ass wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. And but yeah, I agree with Bonez on that one. You got there's very few dominant champions who you see who are primarily strikers. Like Adesanya is one of them. Usually they have like a wrestling base or some kind of jiu-jitsu game, and they can strike. Like those guys definitely last longer.
All right, so man, we had a lot of knockouts on this card. So in our next bout, we have a welterweight bout. Kevin Holland defeating
No, go ahead. I was just getting excited for the fight. Go ahead.
Kevin Holland defeating Santiago. Y'all got it.
Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, by KO TKO round in 3 minutes 16 seconds in the third round. Before we get to the fight, I want to talk about the scuffle before the event even started. What went down with Kevin Holland and Masvidal?
Well, apparently they got into something the day before the weigh-ins, and then they got into something else after the weigh-ins. They kind of like trying to keep it on the hush, but I think basically it's just two egos that's too big to be in the same building.
Yeah, I seen like a little video of it. I couldn't really tell what was going on, but basically in the video, it's like they're both in front of an elevator. So I think that they were both trying to get into the elevator or something, and somebody must have said something to another person, and security had to hold them all back or whatever. But it's basically just two egos going at it. Basically, it's like I don't think it was nothing that was personal between them, but somebody probably said something to the other person, and you ain't finna let nobody check you like that when you're a fighter. So and they're both in the same division too. So
Hey, that was crazy right there.
Yeah, that doesn't look too sweet, and it looks like he's about to kick the shit out of him while he's down.
Nah, he finna run in. He
man,
finna run in with that right.
I feel like it was a lot of backstory with Kevin Holland because remember his last two fights didn't go his way. His 2 fights ago he fought Kamzat and he really shouldn't have fought him. They only happened because of the whole weight miss and everything like that. And then the last fight he fought Wonder Boy, and Dana and some other people was kind of criticized.
Oh, you bro! I'm telling you, every single time he about to have a hot take, his mic go out. Every time. Bones, you there?
So
All right.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it happens every time.
I went out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
he probably was dropping so much fire.
Oh man,
The last thing I
I
heard you
was.
say was Dana. That's Dana was the last thing I heard you say.
Oh yeah, because his last fight, he caught Wonder Boy and dropped him or something like that, and then Dana and some other people was criticizing him because he didn't follow up. He kind of like just let him stand up or whatever, and they felt like he were being like too nice or not aggressive enough. So he came into this fight looking to show everybody what's up, and he got a chip on his shoulder, and then not to mention with the added fuel from Masvidal. And then they had a press conference, Masvidal calling him a bitch and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So he went having it tonight. And Santiago, he was a perfect dance partner for him because he gonna stand and strike with you. And I feel like Ponzinibbio got the confidence that if you get rocked, you finna just keep coming. He's not really, he's just a warrior. They were going back and forth, and I turned my head for one like half a second, and I just heard Ponzinibbio hit the mat, and I looked, and he was out. And
Yep,
he
that's how it be
followed up with a
happening
few.
right now.
Yeah, he followed up with like a few more shots. Ponzinibbio immediately. It was a weird knockout, to where like it was a legit knockout, but the person came to right afterwards. So right after the fight stopped, Ponzinibbio got back up. He was like, no, 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 no. But it's like, bro, yes, yes, yes. He got knocked
Yeah, he
out like
face
legit.
planted, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And when you look at the replay, that was a good job by the referee because in real time, like you felt like the fight shouldn't have been stopped. But when you look at the replay, he got dropped and then he face planted. So that's already like two impacts right there. And then Kevin Holland followed up with two more shots, and he was going to hit him again, and the referee stopped him. So he was going to go out like real cold, but the referee saved him from that one. Because if he would have ate those two more shots, I feel like he would have been stiff. But after the fight, Kevin Holland jumped over the cage and was talking to Dana and Donald Trump, talking shit to them, whatever. That was pretty cool. But
So
that's all I got to say about that. I was really impressed with Holland. I didn't think he was going to be able to finish him. I thought it was just going to be a 3-round war and he was going to take the decision. But I think that's only my second time ever seeing Ponzinibbio get knocked out. And the first time, it's kind of an asterisk because I feel like, delete. Yeah, I put an asterisk by that a little bit.
you guys see the comment on the screen?
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Yeah, I love the dynamic now because you got the guy that was actually there versus the guy that was able to watch it on TV. Because I mean, again, with Dolphin games, if I'm home watching a Dolphin game, I could give you the play-by-play on it like nobody's business. But if I'm at the stadium, good night. There's no way in the hell I'm gonna be doing it because first of all, I'm gonna probably be drunk. And it's just going to be too much excitement. And so Zay, by this time, how lit were you?
Oh man, by this time I was pretty lit. I was telling myself before this fight happened, I told myself, okay, I'm only gonna have one more drink. so I'm gonna save that for sometime during probably for the co-main main event area. But I was on a little break right now.
And they shut it off at a certain time, though, right?
Yeah, at 12. Bar closed at 12, but by then I wasn't drinking no more anyway.
All right.
Yeah, with this fight right here, I'm pretty sure on the previous show I predicted that Kevin Holland was gonna knock him out. He was
Yeah,
gonna
you
Yeah,
fire
did.
he
this shit
called.
and knock him
Yeah,
out.
he did.
Um, I feel like Kevin Holland is too much of a sniper, and I actually put some money on Kevin Holland to win by finish. In the first round, at the end of the first round, he rocked him and could have got him out of there, and he didn't. At one point in the second round, he rocked him and almost got him out of there, but then Santiago clinched up with him. In the third round, he finally got him out of there, but the way he did it was like a mean hook that he caught back from his grandma's house and just caught him with his hands down and dropped him. You see how he face planted, and then he got over on top of him and hit him like 2 or 3 more times. It was crazy to me that Santiago was complaining about that stoppage. Like you look at that picture right there, and that shot that he finna run in with, that's gonna connect. Like he connected with that one. So I don't know. That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Where was the referee to stop that? You clearly could see he was down. He was done right there.
Yeah, the referee was right behind Kevin Holland. He connected with that shot, and then he hit him with one more, and the referee was pulling him off.
Yeah,
But
referee
he,
did a good job on that one.
yeah,
He
yeah,
did.
because
He
you
did
don't
a
see him
good
nowhere in the
job.
picture. Yeah, because you don't
Yeah,
see him
because
nowhere in the picture right there. But
he ran fast as hell
so
though.
yeah, he like he teleported over there, and he finna catch that one right there, and then one more. But by the time he cocking back for the third one, the referee is like already pulling them off.
You know,
And then Santiago got right up and started complaining.
yeah, I would too. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, I thought he was coming in to kick him, but you say he was just coming in to land that right hand on him. So after this
Yep.
right that I'm looking at, you mean to tell me he hit him with another
Yeah.
Yeah.
a clean shot too? Because this man is dead in defenses at this point. Like, bro,
Oh man.
that's
Hey,
like
that
that's
was
like
that was
that's like
electric.
an overkill if I ever seen one. Man.
That was definitely electric. And I don't know, I really enjoyed that fight. I kind of saw it playing out just the way it did. Um I didn't think it was gonna take. I started thinking like, okay, maybe it is gonna go to decision because it was late in the third round. But Kevin Holland, man, he always brings a show. And to speak on what you were talking about, Bones, with his last fight with Wonder Boy, they had a verbal agreement that like, okay, we're not going because they're both strikers, and they both lost their last couple fights to grapplers who just held them on the ground all fight. So they had a verbal agreement that okay, we're not gonna do this grappling. We're just gonna strike, which is the worst thing you could do against somebody like Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really smart of Kevin Holland to do that, but he did silence a lot of critics who were saying that he got a low fight IQ and why would you do this and that. He silenced a lot of critics, and I feel like he needed that one too. He's definitely entertaining. He's one of the most entertaining fighters on the roster. He talked to you the whole time, and every time you see him, he's gonna put on a show.
So where does Holland go from here?
Welterweight, he can go up the ranks. He called out Masvidal, but that's a story for another day.
Neil
I don't know. He
Magny,
the type of guy.
number 12.
Uh, what rank is Holland?
He not even ranked. Neil Magny ranked number 12, but Neil Magny just lost 2 fights in a row, I believe. Definitely one fight in a row.
Yeah. Neil Magny is a tricky fight. It makes sense, but that's just a tricky fight. Like
I mean, you got
it's
Michelle
hard.
Pereira
It's
at
hard to
number
look.
15.
Yeah, he fighting Wonder Boy though.
Michelle Pereira, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, we all know what happened in the co-main, but no shot that Holland and Masvidal hook it up. Even with what happened, like, you know, we all know what happened at the end of the co-main, but you guys don't see a chance that happens.
No, Masvidal, he done. He retired.
So no amount of money could bring him out.
Not
I don't
Kevin
know.
Holland money. It'd be a Conor McGregor money, yeah, but not Kevin Holland money.
Okay, so you just say Holland is too low on the totem pole.
Yeah, you gotta. If it was Conor McGregor, he would do it, but not Kevin Holland.
All right. All right, so I'm gonna put this picture up on the screen just to refresh us of what we talked about in the show yesterday, which again at this point has over 1,000 views between Facebook and YouTube. Facebook blocked this one, but we just have to move on regardless. So we were talking about this Rob Funt guy, and I was trying to find the picture, but what happened? I was calling him Rob Hunt, and the Dolphins offensive guard kept coming up. I'm like, what that? I'm like, that's the name they told me, but then is Rob Funt. So we're talking about. I'm assuming this was from his last fight, where the guy said that he looked like Quasimodo. So I just want to show you this before we get into his fight last night, so you can see where this dude is like beat to hell. And again, when Trevor Snurple comes on next week, I want to ask him, like, why would anybody want to go through this? Like, this is this is crazy, man. Like, look at this guy's face. Man,
Yeah, it was bad that fight, and it looked worse after it was all cleaned up, and it was just you could just see the swelling and the cuts instead of just seeing where it was bleeding from. Yeah, it was bad.
So in our next fight, we have a bantamweight fight where Rob Font defeated Adrian Yanez by KO TKO in the first round, 2 minutes 57 seconds in the first round.
All right, for me, this was the upset of the night. This was the shock of the night, and this was the hurt of the night because this one hurt me because I'm a huge Adrian Yanez fan. I did not see him knocking out Adrian Yanez. I would have put money on Yanez to knock him out, and I actually picked him to knock him out. Yanez, he's a up and comer, and he had 4 losses, and all 4 was by decision. I never seen him get knocked out or even finish for that matter. In the UFC, he was undefeated. He had 6 victories I think 5 victories in the UFC. 4 of them was by knockout. So he putting people away, and he finishing everybody. He got nice combinations. He's just a hungry lion. Um, when the fight started, they were catching each other, but I think Frank caught him in the second round with I think it was a left hook, I believe, or right hook, and I you seen his eyes go in the back of his head, and he fell back, and then Rock Funk just followed up with like 3 or 4 more shots, and after the fight, Yanez, he was like visibly upset. You could tell he was pissed because he knew he just got caught. Like even this sounds crazy to say, but even after the fight, I don't think that Rob Font is a better fighter. He had a better night. He was a better man like last night. But I think if there was a fought 7 times, I think Adrian Yanez would beat him at least 5 times out of the 7. I feel like he just probably underestimated Rob Font, and he just got caught. But I feel like this been a light of fire up under him, and I don't see him. I don't think he's gonna lose another fight for like another 2 years probably. Or I would say he probably gonna win his next 4 or 5 fights. Adrian Yanez is. Because I feel like he's the kind of young fighter that he gonna learn from this, and he gonna learn from his mistakes, and he's gonna come back hungrier and better. And shout out to Rob Font because I didn't see him doing this. So shout out to Rob Font.
Yeah, I thought that this fight was gonna go to a decision. I thought this was gonna be fight of the night. It was good for as long as it lasted. You will hope that Yanez is gonna come back better from this, but you don't know what that's going to do to his confidence. It kind of go back to what we were saying about the sports psychology yesterday. He finishing everybody, he hasn't lost in the UFC, and then to get viciously knocked out in the first round by someone who he just like, you could tell he had all the confidence in the world. He knew he was going to win. And Rob Font caught him. I will say Adrian Yanez has a lot of power, and I was kind of surprised to see Rob Font approach this fight the way he did, as far as, he's usually a technical boxer and he just throws a lot of volume, but he actually kind of, at some point, like, looked like he was just brawling with him and they were clipping each other. And it was almost like, all right, we're going to see who's going to go down first. But Adrian Yanez it seemed like Rob Font had more speed, and I kind of feel like I don't know. I kind of feel like he was more focused. Like his head was more. It's like he saw. It's like he was able to decipher what Yanez was doing. He called what he was going to walk through it. If you see his face after this fight, he probably got like a broken. I mean, I guess the victory is all that really matters.
Zay,
Yeah,
you keep popping like in and out between tones for some reason.
Yeah, that's because somebody would try. Yeah, my phone was ringing.
Oh, okay.
That's what
I
that
will
was.
say this. I'm real surprised that Rob Font was able to come back from his last Cheeto fight and still do this, because we was talking about it on the last show. It's very rare that a fighter can take a beating and then come back and look like a different fighter the next fight. You know what I mean? So I thought they was giving him to the wolf for this fight, man.
Maybe they thought so too, and you can tell how much it meant to him because him and Kelvin Gastelum, they both got really emotional after their wins, because you know that, especially Gastelum, he was on the skid, he really needed that. But Rob Font, he probably dropped his last two, but they were all wars. And as much as I like Yanez, you couldn't help but feel good for Rob Font. And I'll say this too, like the one thing that really makes me love this sport so much is all right, if you're watching like your favorite sports team and they down by like 28 points with 2 minutes left in the game, you get what I'm saying? You know this game is over. Like you can't have a 28-point play. But
hold on. Unless you're the Dolphins against the Ravens and you come back with 4 touchdowns down. I just had to throw that one in there.
Like 2 minutes. Here you go. But it's like at any point, like you can't hit a 28-pointer in basketball or nothing like that. But at any point in the fight, just that one punch, you can get outlanded the whole fight. The punch stats, the strike stats could not be in your favor. It can be lopsided as hell, and then you just land that one punch and change everything. So it's like the fight literally is never over until it's over.
Hey, so bro, what you think is next for Rob Font? He ranked number 6.
Well, he's calling out Davison Figueiredo.
For real?
Yeah, he want to welcome him to the 135 division.
All right, that'll be a good fight. I'll take that. A fight not main event.
What you think about Yanez? What do you think he should do next?
He was ranked number 12.
Take a little time off.
Yeah. I give him somebody who went right outside the top 15. I want to be careful with him.
Let me ask you guys real quick. There was about 4 to 5 knockouts on this night, probably more. What's the time period that these guys had to stay out?
It all depends, because after they get knocked out, they got to go and see the doctor, and the doctor determines if you get a 3-month medical suspension, 6-month medical suspension, 4-month, whatever. So it all varies on whatever, however the doctor. So you got to be out for it, because they could have a concussion. You know, they could not have a concussion, but most likely, if you got knocked out, you have a concussion. So.
All right, so let's move on to our next bout. So kind of a bittersweet matchup.
Oh boy!
But in our next bout, we have a welterweight bout, which was a co-main. Gilbert Burns won by decision against Miami legend Jorge Masvidal, and as they let the cat out of the bag earlier, Masvidal retired after this fight, which thus puts an end to his 20-year career in MMA. I don't think that will be it. Somebody's going to get him out of retirement, but as Zay stressed a lot yesterday, the guy has too many different things going on. You know, so I doubt he even was really focused on this fight. But the fact that he was such a huge underdog, it kind of bothers me that they would even put him in to fight this guy who clearly everybody saw was better than him. And I think they just put him in this just for name recognition. So I got an issue with that they would put the name recognition over somebody that's clearly superior to him.
Well, Trevor,
There could have been
it's
some
like
things went wrong.
it's like the WWE model. You want to put somebody out on the way out, put somebody over on the way out,
Yeah, but hey, listen. Again, WWE is scripted, so we could kind of play with the outcome here. We're not putting Joe Schmo. We're okay. Let's put it this way: we're not putting CM Punk in the ring with John Jones.
No,
just
time,
because we're in Chicago.
No, but most people coming into this fight thought that Gilbert Burns was gonna win by decision. That's why he was such a favorite. We kind of seen Masvidal on his last legs and on his way out. So.
But that big of a wow. I mean, man.
Right, it's a testament to Masvidal, but it's also, I think, more of a testament to how much of a monster that Gilbert is, and how much of a monster that we see Gilbert as. Because man, like I got a lot of respect for Gilbert, and I feel like he's gonna be a future champion. Even when he fought Kamaru Usman, I think 2 years ago, I picked him to win that fight. Obviously he lost, but that's how much confidence I got in him, and that's how good I think he is. Overall, the fight was pretty good. Um, Gilbert, in the second and third round, Gilbert started unleashing and started catching him with some stuff, and I was kind of getting nervous. I was kind of thinking that Masvidal was going to get dropped or knocked out or something like that, but his chin held up. And Gilbert, man, I think he's just a monster. And he told Dana that he said he's not asking, but he's demanding that he be the next title fight replacement. And Dana said, I'm not going to tell him no. So I'm all for that too.
Title fight against who?
No, he's gonna be a replacement for it. I guess the Covington and
fighter. He gonna be
a backup fighter.
Yeah, he demanded that he be the backup fighter for Covington versus Leon Edwards, and then whoever wins, he get that next shot. If not, you can just release him.
Oh, okay.
And then they were like, "All right, you got it." But in this fight right here, Masvidal versus Burns, of course, I'm a fan of both. But of course, I was going for Jorge. Something didn't seem right about this fight for me. I felt like after seeing how it played out, it's like I'm wondering if Masvidal got some kind of health issues as far as like injuries that's nagging and won't go away. And so he already spoke with Dana White and they set this up like, yeah, let me go out in Miami one more, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Because I felt like the effort wasn't there leading up to the fight. Of course, I don't see what he's doing in his training camp, but like he had a lot going on. And then he brought his kids to the weigh-ins, and it's like he was doing everything as if like he knew it was his last fight. He got the promotion going on. But I will say thank you for the 20 years. I've been a big fan the whole time. And that was my second time seeing Masvidal fight live. He had that arena rocking. The atmosphere was electric. Every time you see him, he gonna bring it, win or lose. He don't make no excuses when he lose. He's just an all-around legend, in my opinion. Definitely a Hall of Famer. It was kind of sad to see him go out like that, but at the same time, it is what it is. I just felt like, and he said something too, like this sport made him a multimillionaire, and now he's able to do things for his kids that he never thought he would have been able to do. So I feel like he's straight, and the fact that he got something else to do, I don't think he'll be drawn back into fighting. But I definitely feel like there was something behind the scenes that everybody else knew that we did.
So let me ask you a question. What is his what's his legacy on the sport?
He a legend just from that flying knee knockout. That knockout alone made him a legend, and plus, he one of the very few UFC fighters that came from street fighting. So
yeah, he's a
he
born
paved the way for
fighter.
a lot of people.
Yeah, born fighter turned MMA fighter. I feel like his legacy on the sport is, I feel like he is who he say he is. He don't play no character. He proved that you can come from nothing, be yourself, Don't really have to kiss ass and still make it. He never popped for any kind of steroid. Never pulled out of a fight ever, and fought anybody.
Bro,
Real quick.
He's a fighter
Hold
for
up. Real quick, Nene, if you there, drop the copyright disclaimer for me. All right, go ahead.
those last 2 points that my brother made are very, very key points because very few MMA fighters can say, "Oh, I never got popped for steroids or PEDs or TRT," and also even less fighters can say, "I never pulled out of a fight before." Very few fighters can say that, and this dude been doing it for 20 years. You feel me? So for him to have those two accolades, that's a legend already in my book.
All right, so let's add a conversation that I've been. No, go ahead.
My bad. I just wanted to add, when you meet him, he seems like just like a real down to earth dude, like real genuine.
Yeah,
He's the same person. You could tell he's not putting on for the cameras. When he be on TV, he's just himself.
I worked at a local MMA event, and he was just there as a spectator, and I pulled him to the side and met him and talked to him, and he was real humble and just a real down to earth person.
So let's have this let's have this conversation here because, and this isn't me saying this. I've actually heard this conversation. I've seen it on Twitter. Is Masvidal the Bret Hart of MMA? And the reason why I say that is because when you're watching the career, you're like, oh yeah, great. But in retrospect, I could look back and be like, you know what, Bret Hart kind of was overrated. Is Jorge Masvidal overrated?
Blasphemy.
No, I mean,
Yeah, Bones. I know that hurt your heart.
yeah, but I'm gonna say first of all, before we even get to the Masvidal thing, why are we putting Bret Hart in that category, man? Like, I don't even like that. Let's address that first before we get to the Masvidal thing.
I'm just bringing up what I saw online. I mean, but I did say on our last wrestling show, me and Venkat, that Bret Hart is overrated.
Best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Subjective.
No, but overall, I don't think Masvidal is overrated because we're not on here saying that he's like the best welterweight of all time and top 5 UFC fighter of all time. But ain't nobody gonna argue he's a surefire Hall of Famer. Ain't nobody gonna argue that that neither he did the Askren that put him on the map and that created a whole legacy for him right there. And also, he's the BMF. He's the BMF champ too, and so
Yeah,
and
but
before
hold
the
on.
Askren thing.
Yeah. He started baptizing people. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say before the Askren thing, the way he slept Darren Till, and then the way he beat the shit out of Nate Diaz. I'm sorry. Those 3 fights in that 1 year, like those performances were outstanding. And then the way he did Cowboy, like he fought the who's who, and he has over 50 professional fights.
Yeah, I'm not saying this at all. I'm legit just regurgitating what I've seen online this morning.
Hey, he fought Cowboy when Cowboy was like at the top of his game, and he knocked him out in his hometown. Nasty.
All right, so I mean, listen. Your 20-year career, you guys have been watching this. You guys have followed him a lot closer than me. And like I say, I first knew about him during the street fights. I used to watch all the street fights when he was being promoted by Kimbo Slice. When he was promoted. I remember one fight I saw with Masvidal. He fought this guy that was so much bigger than him, and he beat. He just outlasted the guy and ended up beating the hell out of him. So I'm not going to sit here and say anything disparaging. I'm just saying what I've seen online, and the question came up: is he overrated? Because the people always do that, though. They always find a way to disparage you. When I say the whole Bret Hart thing is literally just to get under your skin, but Bret Hart is great. I mean, Bret Hart is great. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm not gonna call anybody that could do something for 20 years at this type of level, getting punched in your damn face, overrated. Like, I can't do that. That's not me. I'm not gonna be the one to do that.
What's up?
See, I'm not the only person that enjoy getting under your skin.
Hey, well, hey, one last thing about Masvidal though. To my brother's point, when he said that Masvidal looked off in his post-fight interview, he did say, "My body not the same. I don't feel the same no more when I step into the octagon." So I feel like it is something to that.
How old
Which
is
is
he?
probably why
Anybody know?
Vegas had the odds. 38, 39.
Yeah. Listen, a 39-year-old, almost 40-year-old athlete, that shit hurts. So,
Absolutely.
you got to mentally get yourself up for the training camps and stuff like that. That hurts. Like it. So yeah, the man deserves to just ride off in the sunset. I just feel like they shouldn't have put him up against somebody that they knew was so much better than him.
See, I don't think he's so much better than him. I just think that like Jorge is on a decline right now. I mean, I honestly I saw ways that Jorge could have won that fight, and I felt like it was kind of disrespectful to have the odds that high or that different. But then after watching the fight and seeing just putting everything together afterwards, I felt like damn, maybe everybody knew something I didn't know. Maybe everybody know he's dealing with some stuff with injuries and whatnot, and so they're like, yeah, he's not going to win this fight.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick detour here before we get into the main event. Let me remove this. I want to remind you guys that next week, April 16th, I don't think we had a time yet, but we will have MMA fighter Trevor Schnurple on here. So let's just take a look at him in action before we discuss this main event. Where is it? Yeah, so that guy will be here. That guy will be here next week. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to having a conversation with him, because the first thing I'm going to ask him is like, why do you want to sign up for getting punched in your face? That's going to be the first question that I'm going to ask him. So, all right, let's get into this main event. So in the main event, we have for the middleweight title, Alex Pereira, who's a champion, versus Israel Adesanya. And this fight was over in the second round, 4 minutes and 21 seconds in the second round, by a brutal KO by Adesanya. So I want to hear so Bones, let's hear what you got on this match.
Oh man, this fight, man, like my heart is beating fast just talking about it. But in every like story, there's an antagonist and a hero, man. And this one, you could look at it from both ways. Like for example, my homeboy was watching the fight with. He was saying how in his eyes, Pereira is the hero, and then Adesanya is the bad guy because Adesanya background and all that kind of stuff. And Pereira, he's straight from the jungle. You know what I mean? But in the other people's eyes, Adesanya is looked at the hero, and Pereira is the bad guy because he's the guy that Adesanya can't get over that hump. You know what I'm saying? Like he done thrashed everybody, but then this guy come along in his seventh professional fight and knock him out. Not to mention he done beat him twice in kickboxing before then. So like I was saying in the preview show, Adesanya had all caps. He had to win this fight. He needed to win this fight. If he didn't win this fight, I don't know what else he would have did. But with that being said, he came out and all during fight week, he was more focused and he seemed like less. Not saying he's a playful person, but he seemed just like less playful. You know what I mean? He seemed more focused. He seemed more serious. He just seemed more focused. And even at the weigh-ins, he just had like a look in his eye or whatever. And then coming out, sometimes he do like a nice fancy entrance. For this one, none of that. It was just he came straight out, just walked out, and got straight to the octagon. Um, the first round, I feel like they were kind of filling each other out a little bit. Nothing like too major really happened. They kind of filled each other out. Pereira, he's already a tall person, and then he stands tall, so he got like a kind of like a different kind of stance than what anybody else have. But it's like he's like a Terminator. 'Cause it'll be certain times where you'll see him walking down easy, but then easy. Remember, I feel like, oh shit, I can't let him walk me down like this again. That's how I got knocked out last time. So Izzy was controlling the pace. You know what I mean? Like, I think this was their first fight out of their 4 fights that Izzy was more so pacing him down and hunting him down for the most part, because you'll see him start backing up and he'll be like, oh shit, well let me control the pace more. And then he was controlling the pace, and it's like he was hunting Pereira a little bit. And then he was more aggressive, you know, because a lot of times Izzy like to counter punch and he'll sit there and he'll like watch his work a little bit, but not last night. He was just on a different level. And then in the second round, just like the last fight, Pereira was just eating that leg up, man. Like, them calf kicks, he's just tearing him up, and then he started walking Izzy back up against the cage, and I think he caught him with like a hook or something like that, and then he thought he had Izzy hurt, and Izzy got up against the cage. And then when he got up against the cage, Pereira just came up and just started catching him with some mean hooks, 1, 2, and then he caught him with like some hooks to the body. And then I think he got too comfortable, and Adesanya caught him with a mean left hook, and that left hook staggered him. And I think he was probably already halfway out from that left hook, and then he caught him like another hook, and that just dropped him. He caught him with a mean hammer fist. And the best part about all of this to me was his celebration after the fight, which I didn't know this part, but apparently when Pereira knocked out Adesanya in Brazil, Pereira's little son got inside the ring, the boxing ring, and he played dead next to Adesanya unconscious body. So last night, when Adesanya knocked out Pereira, he did his little arrows because Pereira like to shoot arrows at people. So right after he knocked him out, he pulled back and shot him with 3 arrows, and then he went up to he pointed out Pereira's son in the crowd, and he just dropped dead. You feel me? It was so amazing.
Yeah,
And then,
I heard about that.
yeah. And because even after the fight, he was saying how back in Brazil when his son did that to him, he was like, "Damn, that little shit! Like I'm gonna get him back eventually." You feel me? He never forgot about that. But yeah, man, it was so intense. And
that picture is perfect right there.
Yeah, that arrow, the way man.
And it's like at this point, I wasn't even like the phone was going dead, but it's like I wasn't even like I was so caught up in the moment, I wasn't even thinking about a picture at the time. But it wasn't until like this morning, the missus was like, "Man, you should have recorded those post-fight interviews." And I'm like, "Damn, you're right." And then
so you didn't see my message? Okay, I was going to say you didn't get my message.
Yeah,
hold on. But yeah, after the fight, Adesanya, he did give a very motivational, heartwarming speech, and I like the speech afterwards. And man, I feel like Adesanya, man. Like I woke up this morning from such a high from the fight last night, and I just wanted to watch all the stuff about the fight. And it's like I wake up and all I hear is, "Oh, should Pereira get a rematch?" And it's like, I don't want to hear about the rematch. Man. Let's just for this day enjoy Adesanya's victory. And I honestly don't think that Pereira should get a rematch. I think he should go up to 205. And because I feel like this is a side note, but I feel like the UFC is becoming to a WWE like with these rematches. You know what I'm saying? Like just because the champion gets defeated and it's an upset, they don't need an automatic rematch every time. You know, like this isn't like where we gotta have a pay per view and have the same matches all the time and stuff like that. You know, so I feel like Adesanya, obviously he's gonna stay in his division. I feel like he should fight Dricus du Plessis in Africa, and then I feel like Pereira should move up in 205. And I've been looking at the 205 rankings. He could fight anybody at 205. He can fight um, Khalil Roundtree. That'd be a good fight for him. He could fight Ian Kulalaba. So go ahead, bro.
Um, well, the energy around this fight was just so crazy. It's like I got goosebumps when they were getting ready to do their walkouts. There was a certain energy in the crowd. Everybody knew that like they couldn't wait to see what was going to happen. And most people wanted Izzy to win, but most people didn't think he could win. It was just it was a weird atmosphere, but it was pretty electric. Um, bro, you said something that really stood out when you said that Izzy tried to control the pace more. Because
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Like you pretty much broke it down perfect. He definitely tried to control the pace more and was trying not to let Poatan walk him down. Um, this guy Pereira is just so damn big, man. Like you don't really understand. Pictures don't do it no justice. Like he's freaking huge, and not many people tower over Izzy like that, and not just for the height. Like he's kind of massive too. You can definitely tell that the first round they were filling each other out. You could tell they both respected each other because nobody wanted to make a mistake. They were both being real cautious. Then the leg kick started coming into play. Izzy, he tried to hold the center of the octagon, and he was doing a lot of stance switches as well. I think he was trying to keep that leg from getting tore up because it was starting to get bad again earlier in this fight than it did the first fight. I think in the second round, Izzy did get caught, and I feel like he played possum a little bit up against the cage. And like you said, Pereira got comfortable, started letting go of Flurry. In his mind, he probably felt like, oh, like I've seen this movie before. I know how this ends. You feel me? And then Izzy just kind of like timed it perfect. Hit him with a mean right hook, left hook, and then he was on the way down. And even the way he fell was like the Terminator because it's like that first one. I don't know how the hell that didn't knock him out. And it's like it's almost like he was like I don't know. I can't explain it. Like his body was like, oh shit, like we hurt. But then his mind was like, nah, you finna stand up because you see, like he almost went down and just stood
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
felt like it didn't even happen. And then he got caught with the second one, and then he got hit with one on the way down. And then when he was down, that's when he got hit with the hammer fist. And man, that arena was so loud at that point. Everybody was so happy. That was electric. That was, and I was saying that everything in my mind was telling me that Pereira was gonna win this fight, but I felt like Izzy had to do it, and the way he had to do it was by finishing him because obviously outpointing him wasn't working. So he kind of bit down on his mouthpiece and turned it into more of a brawl. And I really respect what he did. And yeah, the post fight speech was pretty cool. He's the constant entertainer. He's one of those fighters that like he always know the right things to say. He always like he's gonna entertain you. That celebration at the end when he was shooting with the arrows, that was pretty sick. And then what he did to the son was even funnier. And it's like
Oh,
never expected to see Pereira laid out like that. Like he
Yeah.
was out for a while. He was out
I
for a
mean,
hey,
while.
Adesanya said he gave him the Elsa treatment, made him frozen. Ha!
And you
Um,
know, he said that extra hammer fist was from 2000. It was for 2017.
2017.
Yeah, when Pereira knocked him out, he said that extra hammer fist was for that.
Yeah. Hey, so bro, I'm looking at the light heavyweight rankings right now because most likely Pereira gonna move up. Number 10, Ryan Spann. 11, is Dominic Reyes. Number 12 is Jimmy Crute, Dustin Jacoby, Khalil Roundtree. I feel like Pereira can beat any of those guys, honestly.
You definitely can.
So he can jump right into the light heavyweight division and be all right, I feel like.
Yeah, I could even see him being matched up with a Johnny Walker, even though he got
Yeah,
a
he's
fight
number
right
7.
now. But
So let me ask you a question real quick. To this Sammy is no person in the chat. I don't we don't know why they took the belts off of. We don't know. Sorry, I can't help you with that one. So Adesanya now is champion again. Who he's pretty much wiped out the entire division. So now is it just rematch central for him?
No. I do not want to see another rematch. It's another South African fighter, and they asked him about him in the press conference yesterday. But Izzy was like, "Look, I'm trying to live in my moment right now, and that guy hasn't done nothing yet, so I don't want to call his name or acknowledge him." But his name is Dricus Duplessis. He's ranked number 6, and he's the only person in the top like 7 or 8 that hasn't lost to Adesanya yet. So I would make that fight because Adesanya done beat Robert Whitaker twice. He beat Vittori. He beat Cannonier. He beat Derek Brunson. So ain't nothing more left for him to do.
And let me point this out. Y'all see how whole time is like they trying to wake him up and he got his fist still balled up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
oh my God. Like he was literally separated from consciousness. Like
That's like Tua in his gang signs he was throwing up
yeah,
during
pretty
that
much.
concussion.
I do want to make a point too. After the fight, Adesanya did meet with Pereira backstage, and they hugged it out, and they cool and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, the middleweight division is upset right now because everybody felt like if Adesanya not the champ, we got fresh blood. We could probably go take the belt off that guy. Listening to what Dana White said, he definitely expects Pereira to move up. He got a real hard time cutting the 85. Only reason he was doing it is because that's where Adesanya was at, to be honest with you. As far as Adesanya goes, I feel like they probably gonna try to see what happens with Costa and Hamzat,
Oh, Chimaev,
and then
yeah.
see if, Chimaev could go ahead and fight Izzy.
Yeah, bro, I don't know if you brought this up, but Dana said that I think Friday before the weigh-ins, or I think Thursday, the day before the weigh-ins, Paul time was still heavy, and he still had to cut like 2 pounds, like right before the fight
Yeah,
or whatever. So
he was the last person on the scale. And remember, I said how it was a quick turnaround because the last fight was in November, so you got to wonder how Izzy healed up, but at the same time, you got to wonder how that weight cut was gonna go for Pereira because
yeah,
like I feel like he spent the whole camp cutting, so to have that quick
yeah.
turnaround, I felt like it was probably gonna be a lot harder on him.
So what's your guys overall thought on UFC 287?
The two things that
Um,
stood out to me the most was Yanez getting knocked out. I didn't see that coming, and Izzy knocking out Pereira. Overall, I would give it like a 9 out of 10. I love the whole card. It was pretty good.
yeah, I would say the same. Being there, it was amazing. It's like it was only one fight that wasn't really that entertaining, and well, it wasn't really entertaining at all, to be honest. But it was like one sleeper fight, and everything else was fire. Um, I'm still trying to digest it, to be honest with you. It's like it wasn't until afterwards that I realized, damn, that was a pretty good card. And I came home and rewatched the prelims, and I'm probably gonna watch the main card after I get off with y'all,
I
just to
watched the
watch
main
it
card
again.
again today too.
I was going
You
to ask
did?
you if you do that. If you
Yeah,
after you leave an event, do you then go home and watch it? Yeah, because I do that. Once I'm done, I go
yeah,
watch it after the fact.
yeah. I woke
Yeah,
up this
and
morning.
then
I started out with the Adesanya fight, and then went back and started the main card over and watched the main card.
you know what'd be
I,
cool to me? I guess it's
What?
kind of like the aspect of what y'all was saying, how to see you coming from watching it on TV and me being there in person, but we coming up with the same points and whatnot. It'd be cool to
Yeah.
me to remember a conversation that you had. Like, all right, so me and Janet would have these conversations during certain fights where it's like, oh, we think this and we think that, and then when you go back home and you watch and you hear the commentary, to see that they're pointing out some of the same things that you were saying, it's like, okay, so I'm not crazy. I think that'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool. And shout out to the missus, man. When we was at the meet and greet for Justin Gaethje, they had a female there, and Chris wanted to go meet her and take a picture with her, and I'm like, dang, like he said, well, who is she? I'm like, I don't know, like she obviously looked like a fighter, but I don't know who that is. And Janet had to be the one to call it out, like, oh, that's Hannah Goldie. And we were like, oh shit. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And Chris ran into Dustin Poirier yesterday. Did he tell you that?
Yeah. Yeah. I seen the picture.
Yeah, he ran it. Yeah, he ran into Dustin Poirier, Chuck Liddell.
Oh, so Chris
Hey, brother.
was with you?
Yeah, Chris was with me.
Yeah, y'all tell Chris to come on over here, man, because Chris be at those NXT shows. I'd like to get a live reporter, like what goes on in there.
I got
Yeah,
you.
he don't go no more, but trust me, he asked him to talk about wrestling. He ain't gonna never get him to shut up.
Yeah, I mean, what better place than to come over here?
Straight up. I know he listened to a few of them already too.
Now, well, the ones over here are going to be 100 times better. So let's not kid yourself with that. The ones over here will be a million times better.
Hey, bro. I got a question. What would you say got the biggest pop of the night when they came in? Because I know, like on TV, when they showed Donald Trump, he got the biggest ovation of the night. Like on TV wise,
Absolutely.
anyway. Same thing in person
Absolutely.
too.
And sometimes I wasn't even like I heard Odell Beckham was there and a couple other people, but sometimes we would go like to use the bathroom or go get drinks and whatnot in between fights. And in between fights is when they show the cameos. So it's like
Yeah.
I missed a lot of that. I saw Mike Tyson, I saw Kid Rock, Donald Trump. Um, it was a lot of fighters there, like a lot. It seemed like more fighters than usual at an event. It
Yeah,
was a
because I
lot of
think it's just
fighters. South Florida.
because a lot of the schools are here. Yeah, it's a South Florida thing. That's what I'm gonna say.
Now, I really want to play this. I really want to play this Adesanya video at the end, but I don't know, man. I'm nervous because we've been 2 hours. I hate to have this get struck and then they made me take the video down. It's a 15-second video. So hold on, I want to see. Let me take this off. Let's see. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Feel this level of happiness if you don't go for something in your own life. When they knock you down, when they try and shit on you, when they talk shit about you, and they try and put their foot on your neck. If you stay down, you will never ever get that resolve. Fortify your mind and feel this level of happiness as you rise.
Yeah, he gave me goosebumps, man, watching that.
Yeah, that's a great promo, man.
Bro, hey,
He always
look, when
know
he
what to
knocked out,
say.
because I was at my homeboy house watching the fight, and when he knocked out Pereira, I jumped up, bro. And I was so happy because I didn't see him knocking them out. I figured if he won, really, I didn't think he was gonna win anyway. I picked him with my heart, but man, that was a nasty knockout, and he was stiff too for a minute.
Yeah, I started getting concerned after about like 2 minutes. Hey, but like Darren Lewis said, he's okay.
Concussion City.
Yeah.
All right, well, fellas, I didn't want to run too long because I see the debate. Rio and Yanga's getting ready to start over on the other side, so I didn't want to cut into that. So I appreciate you guys for coming through. Definitely,
No problem.
definitely appreciate that live aspect.
Best weekend ever.
Yeah, yeah, great as always, man. Facebook, y'all need to tighten up, man. Our video got over 1,000 views on it, and now I try to put this one up and you block it. Like I don't. Before we even put a video up, all I did was put a thumbnail up. I just put a thumbnail up. I didn't even put a video up, and I went back and I looked at the tags to see if maybe I said anything crazy in the description, but I didn't. I went and changed everything. And still, they got me on suspension on Facebook. So there you have it. So hopefully you guys share this video and you get it out there, man, because this one should have just as many, if not more, than the one that we did yesterday. So, fellas, again, and let me just say this for the record. I apologize for the first 10 minutes of the video, but you guys know when I get frustrated, I just have to sound off, and
All good.
So
hey, let me say one more thing. I just want to say this. So I asked Chris this morning. I said, so WrestleMania tickets or UFC pay-per-view tickets? This is not coming from me. It's coming from him. He said UFC pay-per-view hands down, because that was his first. That was the first time attending the pay-per-view event.
Yeah,
but remember. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me interject. Remember that WrestleMania we went to was the COVID WrestleMania, so you got to put an asterisk next to that.
Oh yeah. Okay. But no, he
wasn't the full
WrestleMania
experience.
No, he came to WrestleMania with me. WrestleMania 28.
But the WrestleMania y'all went to, the one in Tampa, that was a full, wide open WrestleMania though. It was after COVID, but
trust me, they had seats like covered and stuff like that.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I think it was at like 80% or 70% or something like that. It wasn't completely full.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris went to Mania with me in Miami though.
Yeah, I would think that the UFC, I would think that like because of the atmosphere and like the fights and having Masvidal being like the hometown boy, I would think that maybe it gets rowdy because a lot of times wrestling fans sit on their hands a lot. You wonder why they even spend the money to go to shows if they're just going to be quiet. But like if a guy's going to a UFC fight, he's going to have a good time. So there shouldn't be a lot of kids in there either.
Too. Yeah, you're right about that. It wasn't a lot of kids.
Yeah, I mean, because I ain't bringing my daughter to no UFC event. So I mean. So yeah, it's a big difference, like having an adult crowd versus that's why an AEW crowd I think would be a million times more hyped than a WWE crowd, because the WWE crowd is 50% kids, sometimes more, because some parents have 3 and 4 kids that they're bringing, whereas the AEW crowd you're looking at more 18 to 34 males, and some crazy women.
The AEW crowd is full of internet marks and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a different thing.
I saw we saw this family, a man and a lady, and they had like a newer baby, like not even walking yet, and then they had 2 kids, probably like 5 and 7, and that shit just looked awkward. And it's like, now, so you paid tickets for them? Now, don't get me wrong, like when we go to the little local events and whatnot, Jocelyn comes with us and she enjoys it, but it's like to take her to a UFC event, like those tickets too expensive, and it ain't no way she don't want to sit there for them hours either. But I don't understand those people that you're speaking on, because there was some people like that yesterday too who would just sit on their hands, and it's like, why you even like what you came for?
Yeah, those jokers, man. I don't get it. I never get it. But again, fellas, man, like I say, I appreciate it. Yeah, we hitting that 2 hour 15 minute mark now. So next week, I guess we got to figure out what time we're gonna do it next Sunday though. We will have Trevor Schnurple over. So wait a minute. So now, are we just doing an interview, or are we going to do a watch along for Griffin Bonner? What are we going to do?
I thought we was gonna review the Bonner Griffin fight, right?
Yeah, we're going.
Griffin,
Yeah, we're gonna review Bonner Griffin and then have him on also. All right, so we could run that. So appreciate you guys coming through. So until next time,
Thanks for having
peace.
us.
No doubt, no
Peace.
doubt. Well, there you have it. Another edition of Straight Talk Reviews, UFC 287, Adesanya versus Pereira 2. Fantastic show as always, having those guys on. I mean, they're like encyclopedias of knowledge when it comes to UFC. And again, I apologize to the new listeners. Like the first 10 minutes of the video, you had to hear me go off just because I got frustrated about something that, happened. Something that was brought to my attention, but you won't hear me make mention of that ever again on any show, because I don't need to give attention to those type of people. So going forward is just straight talk business. So right now I'm about to head over to SVDL because it looks like the debate is starting. Yanga versus Rio. That's just a religious topic. I'm shocked that Yanga's doing this one. Who was Abraham planning to sacrifice, Isaac or Ishmael? That should be very interesting. So head on over to SVDL Solar Vision Debate Leagues right now and catch that. Until next time, I am out of here. Peace.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.